guys made it here on a really nice day. Super hot, but really nice. Luckily there's a breeze. Tomorrow, there's not. Tomorrow's going to be 74 or 75 degrees, which is unheard of temperatures for us. We actually got up there and I think we hit 80 something, and it would have been in 2004 when I had my one of my daughters. And we ran out of ice, we ran out of fans, we don't have air conditioning here on the island, and it was with dehydration, the hospitals were full, it was crazy. So once we get up over 70s, we do have a lot of people that get sick from the heat. The heat here is a lot different than it is other places. So I don't know if you guys noticed, but it's pretty warm and it's only, I don't know, maybe it's high 60s or something, mid 60s. I'm not even sure, whatever it is, it's miserable.
I don't know, I felt like it was 80.
Exactly, that's how it feels here. It usually feels about 20 degrees, if not more, hotter than it normally would feel at, you know, at different places. And I truck drove all over 48 in Canada, and I don't think I've been in another community or city, state, anything that has weather like this.
What causes it to feel so much hotter?
I don't know if we're closer to the sun, if it's because we're on the water, but I mean, I've been in Florida, Georgia, Carolina, all the way to Washington. None of those communities did. I know we have 100% humidity, so we don't ever see the sky, hardly ever. So this is now day 3 in the last month that we've seen it. So in the other 2 days, it rained and it was cloudy. We just saw the sky for a little bit and a little bit of the sun.
What do you normally see if you don't see the sky? Clouds?
Clouds. Yeah, it's raining. Yeah, we're a temperate rainforest. We get 90 to 110 inches of rain, and we're the 3rd wettest community in Alaska. So we don't typically have the open sky and the sunshine, but because we do right now, you guys have a good shot of possibly seeing the northern lights. So I will tell you, download the app. It's called My Aurora Forecast. It's a free app. It's purple and blue. And it will text you when the northern lights are above you. If you feel like you're going to be out of range or no service, open it up before you're out of range and screenshot, so you'll be able to see kind of the estimated time frames, estimated KP index, which is how bright they're going to be. Higher the number, the better. Orange and red's better than greens, but still, nonetheless, anywhere in the zone is good. It just is a matter of how bright they might be, what color, or if they're dancing. But I mean, even down in Arizona, I have folks that said they're from Cayman. When I was down there visiting family, that it was end of October last year, I left, and a week later, you guys had some of the most beautiful hot pink auroras. And I got pictures from up in the Wallapies from a gal where we stayed. So you guys can utilize this app all down south as well, because the solar storms we've been having are actually pretty amazing. A couple fun facts about Sitka. It's known to be the largest city in the United States. That's by landmass, because truthfully, you're seeing about half the town taking the shuttle in and out. We've got 14 miles of paved road, and you guys are seeing about 6 miles of it coming and going right here. So what you're missing out the other end is one of the battle sites. It's called Old Sitka. There were 2 battles that were fought here in Sitka. And the first one was the Battle of 1802 between the Russian-American company and the natives. So the natives won that battle, and then the Russian-American company came back in 1804 and beat out the Alaska natives. And that battle was in the national park, or totem park. There's a big battleground right in the middle. They thought they were pretty safe. The tree line was much further out towards the water, and they had built, I want to say it was 14 huts on the inside that protected them, but the Russians bombed into it, and that's how they took over. And they had kept possession of it until we did the purchase. Now the overall purchase price was $7.2 million for Alaska. Now that breaks down to 1.9 cents an acre. But that 0.2 million, that 0.2 was for that lake we passed back there. That's called Swan Lake. Now the Russians actually dredged that up for the purpose of income. Once they wiped us out of our sea otters here, they needed another source of tradable, something of tradable value. that up, hoping it would become a big moving ice business, which it did. So in the wintertime, they cut out blocks of ice. They would wrap them in sawdust, and actually, between our environment and that sawdust helped to preserve those blocks of ice for up to 3 to 4 months. Now, that gave them time to ship them down the coast to California and then sell them down the California coastline. Huge business for them. So that was that $200,000 they said they had to have in order to let that lake go at the purchase. And that means that they got, with that 22-acre lake, $9,091 an acre for that lake versus the 1.9 cents an acre, making that lake the single most expensive piece of property within the purchase of Alaska. So big piece of the purchase history right there. If you look over to the left-hand side, that's actually our volcano. So that's Mount Edgecombe. And if you see, and we have the view right here, that left side is caved in right there. That is actually from the last 4 years. It's had that transformation. There's been so much seismic activity over there that now they have listed it as an active volcano. So if you guys want to Google that, that's Mount Edgecombe. And if you guys want to Google Swan Lake, just put Sitka, Alaska behind it so you get the correct one. Okay, otherwise there's a ton of Swan Lakes. Now, as far as our bears go, we have a really unique subspecies of the coastal brown bear here on our island. We have only brown bears here, no black bears except for the 3 that are out at the fortress. And they were brought in from Juneau and I want to say Seward. But brown bears only here. Because what makes them unique is they call them the ABC bears. They are found on Admiralty, Baranof, and Chichikov Island. And you are on Baranof Island right now. Now, what makes them super unique is they have a polar bear DNA in them. So their skulls are a little bit smaller. They have a little bit different demeanor, but they also have a toxicity to their meat. So we do not hunt or harvest our bears. We will hunt and harvest absolutely everything on the island that we can, all the way down to salt, dandelions, doesn't matter what it is. If we can turn it into something, we will. Seaweed, we do all of them. We don't touch our bears though. They do trophy hunt them. They're gorgeous. Actually, some of the largest bears, but they don't use them in the measurements like in the Crockett and stuff because they have that smaller skull, and that is the way they measure the size of them. Okay, so they don't use ours. But a little fun fact.
What are those big things coming down you see sometimes from the mountain that have no trees?
That's a landslide.
Okay.
Okay, so that one in the back there, that really big one we just passed on the right, that was a landslide. It took out 2 homes. It took out what they were building, and I know we lost 3 people in that one. So when we have big, big floods, have way too much rain, there's areas that are in danger of landslides. So there's out in Jamestown Bay, that is one of them. There's a whole community out there. So we just have to be extra careful, definitely with where they put their homes and where they're built. And they've been reinforcing a lot of them because a lot of the mountains have come down because we've had some pretty big rainfalls in the last couple of years. Now this water we're running across right here, this channel stays 45 degrees year round. I'm sure you guys saw the people out there swimming. If it's sunshine, doesn't matter the temperature, they're out swimming. It stays 45 degrees because of a Japanese current out here. Now that Japanese current only keeps this water that warm. Out by the volcano, it's 8 minutes before you're hypothermic. Now that's why we teach our kids survival courses, and they have to learn how to swim. So they start their swimming classes in kindergarten. If they cannot take their big tests that they have to take their senior year, they don't graduate high school.
What?
My first graders had to actually pass their big test for first grade for survival and swimming to make it to second grade this year. So it's that dangerous out there. We want to make sure our kids are nice and safe. You guys have negative tides right now. So in the morning time, right around 9:10, 9:15 tomorrow morning, you guys will have negative tides. The bears are hungry. They've already eaten the skunk cabbage, which is that big green leaf with the yellow stalk that comes out. That's what releases the plug for them. And then they can start eating. Our berries are not ripe. Our fish are not running. That means they're hungry. 3:15 I do. So for all intents and purposes, I'll just say that the Bears have found a way to